Good evening, guys. Welcome to a new Brizy webinar. Please let us know. Okay, hi. Hey, RB. Audio is fine. Can you hear us?
Hey, everyone.
Hey, Bogdan, Carl. Hi, guys.
Hi, Bogdan.
As you can see, we are a bit in a different scenario here. GP is not with us tonight, but I'll be the host tonight and hopefully do at least as good a job as GP. I have a special guest with me tonight. Let me, before I present him to you, let me go through this short presentation at the start to set the stage for the webinar tonight. So tonight we will see how to basically translate and create your Brizy WordPress website and add multiple languages to it. The session goals for tonight, guys, we want to show you how you can translate a website and how you can add a language switcher to your website, so you'll be able to switch between languages. We'll also show you how you can translate links, meta, and images, and alts, and all that jazz, all that SEO things. And very, very cool thing that I'm super excited about. When I saw it, I was wowed. Basically, we'll show you how you can instantly auto-translate your website. So after this webinar, you'll be able to go and create multiple lingual websites very easy. The campaign for tonight, we are, I think we'll be here for 60, maybe 70 minutes or so. The showcase will be presenting tonight that Adrian recorded is pre-recorded. So basically, we'll stay in the chat and chat with you in the meantime. So please put your questions there. We'll answer them after the video is over. Of course, as you are used to it already, at the end we have a little surprise for you, so stick around to get that. And this is not a support webinar, so keep that in mind, and please keep the questions on topic if possible. I know that it's not possible all the time, but please do so, right? A bit of words about myself. As you mostly know, but if you don't, I'm Dimi. I'm one of the co-founders here at Brizy. We always try in these little presentations to put something personal. I love to read. I don't have a lot of time lately to read a lot, but when I do get some time, I like to read. I'm the guy behind the interface at Brizy. I do design, and also you'll see in this webinar, I drink a huge amount of coffee each day, so probably that's not very good, but yeah. And the man of the hour, to put it like this, let me present you, or actually better, I'll give him the talk and he'll present himself. Adrian from TranslatePress. Hi, Adrian.
Hey, everyone. I'm Adrian, co-founder of TranslatePress and Cosmos Labs. Dimi, thank you for having me.
Yeah, sure.
I'm a proud father of two. Personal fact, I'm also a professional fisherman, an angler.
Okay, go on, but we'll have to stop here a couple of minutes. You need to tell me about it. So here, please go on. Yeah.
Yeah, this is something that Dimi is hearing for the first time, I think now, and he wants some details. So here it is. I've been fishing like professionally or competing in fishing tournaments for 10 years now, and
I know you like fishing, right? But I think your video feed is down. I know that you like fishing, but I didn't know that you basically compete and go to world word tournaments and things like this. So I was stunned when I saw it. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
it's definitely more than a passion. It's sort of an obsession. It's so I'm fishing only artificial lures. I like catching like predator fish. I always do catch and release, or 99% of the times.
Nice.
And it's like a puzzle and sort of a meditation.
First thing when I don't know if you guys know, we're in the same country. Basically, we're in different cities. We're not in the same city. But first thing when I come to Timișoara, you'll bring me and show me the ropes, right? Show me the.
Absolutely, I'd be happy to.
And this is the last thing that I put on the list, but I was surprised as well. You guys work 4-day weeks, basically, for the last 6 years?
Yeah, so we started for more than 6 years now. We started working only 4 days per week, like taking Fridays off. And it was probably one of the most rewarding decisions we did business-wise, both business-wise and also on a personal level. Our relationship and I know personal life got
nice. That's why you have 2 kids right now, right?
Yeah, that's one of the happy coincidences behind working 4 days per week. To be honest, I hope we stop here.
Okay.
Because 2 kids.
Don't go to 3 days a week jobs, because you'll man, thanks for being here. I've ever since when I have I saw TranslatePress. I'm not sure 4 or 5 years ago when we met here in Bucharest at the WordCamp. I was impressed, and the first time I saw what you guys are doing with the translations, it's I'm a sucker for great usability, and the first time I saw it, I said, does anyone do it differently? Because it doesn't make sense to be any other way, right, than to just click and translate. But let's get to exactly that, right? So we have a recording here, guys, that I'll start in just a moment. It's about 30 minutes, and Adrian will basically walk us through every step of the way how to do it. Anyone can do it. It doesn't get easier than this, right? So when we started discussing, this was the first thing. Brizy, easy. TranslatePress, very easy. So it was actually a perfect fit. I'll start the recording and we'll be in the chat. Put the questions there, and we'll get back to you right after this.
Hey everyone, so let's get this started. What you see here is a pretty standard website created with Brizy. As you can see, you have a home page with certain elements. You have like a subscription box, some text which is organized in different manners, images, buttons, and so on. You have things like an about page with pictures of the team members, some quotes from the clients, services. So more or less things you would find on the majority of, like, let's say, presentation company websites nowadays. There's also a blog with articles. It's like the content, it's pretty much dummy. But for the purpose of this tutorial, it will serve the purpose. And a contact page, of course, with a form and a submit button, an email address, and so on. And also a newsletter subscription. Great. So let's see now how easy it is to translate all this content and make this website multilingual. For that, we're going to use TranslatePress, which is a free WordPress translation plugin. It also has a premium version, but we will, for the purpose of this tutorial, we'll basically use the free version, and then see or highlight some of the differences or things that are available in the Pro version as well. Okay, so I'm gonna basically switch to the dashboard of this website, go to plugins, add new, and I'm gonna search for TranslatePress. Awesome, you can see it here. Install it and activate the plugin. Once it's activated, you can just go to the settings page. It's located under the settings tab, TranslatePress. And basically what you have to do, I'm going to remove this page because this language, because I tested it before and it remained saved. But just to show you from the beginning, basically these are the general settings of TranslatePress, and the only thing you need to do here really, we're gonna translate, let's say we're gonna translate this website into Romanian, since that's my mother language and it would make it easier. You just click and add another language. The free version is limited to 2 languages, so basically you can translate it in 2 languages, and more languages are available in the Pro version. Other than that, there are not a lot of limitations. And you can see these things like native language name to use it. We can just leave the default for now. We can come back to them later. Another important thing is the language switcher, which you can use in the form of a shortcode or menu item or a floating language selection. This is added by default by TranslatePress. So you're pretty much covered. You will have a language switcher, and if you need to add one in a menu or in a widget, you can do that as well. But for now, we're just going to click Save Changes. So we added a secondary language, Romanian, and then simply click Translate Site button. What happens now is there's a translation interface. Everything is visual. You see it's similar to the WordPress customizer, more or less. And all you have to do is hover over certain pieces of text. You can see you can select pretty much everything. And so let's do that. Let's try to translate the menu. Once you click it, you will see here you have the English title, and then I'm going to enter the Romanian translation, then click Save Translation. Now here's where the magic happens. If I change the language to Romanian, I'm gonna see that this text is already translated. The beauty of this is that you can simply click Save, and you can say the change is real life, which is pretty cool. So you can continue doing this. There's also, like, if you don't want to press Save Translation and so on every time, there's also shortcuts you can use, like Ctrl S to simply save. Since these two are pretty similar in Romanian, I'm going to leave these two the same. Let's go to, I don't know, translating other text, like, I don't know, here you have, for example, a button. Save translation, and it's saved. You can also have things like Start Now, translated. And here I'm going to mention another cool thing. which is the ability to translate buttons or links. Here we have a button which has, I've added an external link like to Google, just to show you how you can also translate links. Let's say this could also be, so this is to google.com. Let's say the Romanian version, you would like to link it to google.ro, which is the Romanian version of Google. You can simply change it and change the link to that. Let's say another use case for this would be, I don't know, you want to link to a Wikipedia article, but you would like to link to the English version on the English website and to the Romanian version on the Romanian part of the website. As you notice, there's also an add media here. Why is that? These things like translating links can also work with files, for example, or things that are stored in your media library. Let's say you have a price list, for example, and you have it in English. The services and so on, they're listed and written in English in a PDF. And you would want to do like the same version, but translate it into Romanian, and maybe even do the currency exchange in Romanian. Then you can also easily translate this. Okay, moving forward, we can see that there are a lot of elements which you can translate, including placeholders for forms, for example. I'm gonna just start translating things like you would just have to take my word for this, for it that this is correct. There you have it. This is pretty much how you can translate absolutely everything you see on a page. TranslatePress doesn't really care how the page was created, so they can be custom fields or they can be blocks inside Brizy. It doesn't really matter. You can easily translate pretty much whatever you see. If, I don't know, for some reason you don't see the pencil icon and you cannot select the text, there's a huge chance that you will, like, all the strings are listed here. You can see them also. If you by any chance don't see the pencil icon and it doesn't allow you to select a certain string, you can always find it in the string list. You can see here the menu and so on, like pretty much all the texts on the page are here. Okay, so moving forward. I'm not going to do this for too long because I'm sure you already got the idea. Now, one important thing to mention, once you translated like an element, for example, the menu, you noticed we already translated the menu. In fact, we started with it. You can see that the footer menu got translated as well. So if you translate a certain string once, it will propagate and all over the website. So you don't have to translate, let's say, the add to cart. If you have like a WooCommerce store, for example, and you translate the add to cart button text, it will show on all products. If you translate the read article button, it will show on all the articles and so on. This is pretty much like the beauty of TranslatePress and how easy it is to translate everything you see on a page. Now, to take things a little bit further, there are some elements on the page, like the page title or the page slug, that you can also translate using an add-on. But first, before going into that, I want to show you now that we have translated some of the text from the home page. I want to show you how it looks. So all you have to do is like click the X to close the editor. And now we will see the Romanian version of the website. Since we were like in the Romanian visual translation editor, it automatically brought us to the Romanian page. So you can use this language switcher, which is just one of the options for the language switcher that you can add, and easily change the text on your website. English and Romanian. You will see all the pages. Let's go to Romanian once more and show you the thing with the links with it. So here you can notice that it goes to google.ro. In fact, let's open this in a new tab. You will see google.ro. And if I change to English, click the same button, I'll be taken to google.com. Awesome. Another mention, like for example, the Contact Us page. This is a button that takes us to the contact page. And you don't really need to translate this link since it's linking to an internal page. You don't really need to, you just translate the text and we will do the redirect automatically. So now if I go to, I hit Contact Us, I go to the Contact Us page in English. But if I go back and do like change the language and hit, you already see the language is in Romanian because we translated it, and hit this button, it will redirect to the Romanian version of this page, as you can see also here. Now, not everything is translated, but we'll get into that very soon. Okay, so now we basically need to replicate the same translation process, like open the translation interface. You saw I clicked Translate Site button, which was located in the admin bar, and pretty much translate all the text that you can find on the website. But I'll show you an even faster method to do it soon. Meanwhile, let's talk about page titles, for example. I'm going to open the version of the website, so now the translation editor, that go to about, and you'll see the URL is about and the page title is about. If we go to RO, it's .ro about, and the page title is still about. It's listed here. So the question is, okay, how do we translate this? This is important for SEO, for ranking. We already do we make sure that Google and other search engines know which page is in which language. So there's an attribute, ahreflang attribute we add automatically so that Google knows exactly what page your website is translated in. But you can go much further than this. So let's see how can you translate the slug of the page, how can you translate the page title, the meta description if you have one, and also maybe even use an SEO plugin to improve your rankings. For that, I'm gonna just jump to TranslatePress.com and see a couple of features. So the free version is limited to 2 languages, as I mentioned before, and the premium versions have pretty much the same main plugin, which is the free one, but on top of that you get access to certain add-ons, which are mini plugins that add functionality to the main plugin. One add-on that we'll use here is the SEO pack add-on. This will allow you to add things like slug translation, page title and description. You can also translate image alt tags and so on. It also allows you to add multiple language. Let's say we want to add French and Spanish as well and have 4 language on our website. We would need the multiple languages add-on. Among other features are things like translator accounts. If you want to, let's say, allow someone to translate your website, but without giving them admin rights. So without allowing him to go to the back end and change the website and so on. You simply create a translator account for them and they can only translate a certain language or certain languages. There's the process user role, for example, which is useful for membership websites, or let's say you restrict content or you have a form that is displayed only to a certain user role. You can use this to see that content and translate it from the translation interface. We have things like navigation based on language. For example, on our website, let's say we wanted to change this in the fact that I don't want to translate the blog in Romanian. I'm not gonna blog in Romanian. I want to keep it in English and I don't keep my blog posts in English only. Then it would make no sense to have it in the menu. So using that add-on, you can easily remove certain menu items. Things like automatic user language detection. For example, you have a web user that visits you from Romania. You're in the United States. Obviously, the main language would be English, but if someone visits you from Romania using this add-on, you will load automatically the Romanian version of your website. And then we have the automatic translation, which we will dive into soon. But let's go. So I already added an add-on here in the form of the plugin, the SEO pack add-on. I'm gonna just activate it and then move forward to translating the actual URLs. Let's refresh the page so that everything works smooth. Then click Translate page once again, and from the strings, string drop down, you can also see now you have slugs, which you can translate. The post slug in English is about. In Romania, it would be something like this. Then you also have things like meta information, like the page title, which I'm going to change. I'm going to leave the site title the same, but we can change that as well. Okay, let's see what these changes did. I'm going to close the editor, and now as you see here, the page title is already translated. It's despre noi, it's not about anymore, because we are on the Romanian version of the website now. If I change, and also the slug is despre noi, it's not slash slash arrow slash about. If I go to English, it's slash about, and the page title changed to about. Now this is clearly helpful for Google to rank your website high for a certain keyword. I don't know, you want to rank a certain keyword, it's important to have it in your URL as well, to have it in your page title, and so on. So all of this is possible. You can also use TranslatePress in combination with an SEO plugin, for example, I know, Yoast, to create a multilingual sitemap. This we're actively working to make it compatible, in the sense that you can use any SEO plugin to create multilingual sitemaps. So most of the SEO plugins will be supported very soon. Okay, so now let's move forward, and I want to show you a trick. I didn't start with this because I think it's important to see like how easy it is to translate everything using the translation editor, like simply clicking and inserting text, simple as that. And also seeing the translation real time. But what I wanted to show you now is a trick to speed things up. The free version of TranslatePress, which we're using now, you can also find it here. You have the Translate site button here, and you can also access settings really fast from here. So the really cool feature is automatic translation. We have a way to add automatic translation. Right now we support Google Translate, which is supported in the free version as well. So you can add automatic translation using the free version easily. And then we have DeepL, which is a more advanced automatic translation service that is available only in the premium version. Now the costs, however, are not included in if you purchase the premium version. The cost of automatic translation are not included and are separate. You basically pay them to the automatic translation provider. Well, with Google, the costs are not so high. So let's go through how to set up automatic translation and just see how easy it is to have your site automatically translated, and then simply go and change some things that doesn't sound really good. So there are these two options. This is it's telling me that it's part of Pro DeepL, but Google Translate, you can use it. You only have to insert an API key. Now this one has been saved here. Don't try like the same key, it won't be active. You can also test the API credentials and see that the response is that it works. So once you enter the Google Translate API, you still have like a couple of settings, but you can just click Save Changes and you're good to go. You can limit one of the settings. It's limit machine translation characters per day. Let's say you want to limit, like, not to go with the costs way over your budget. You can add a limit. TranslatePress will also show you today's character count, so how many characters are translated. And you can also log machine translation queries, which is not something you want to do right now. But the main idea is that once you click Save Changes, all you have to do basically is go to the front page of your website. You don't even need a translation interface. Ta-da! So this is where the magic happens. You see we're on the front, no, we're on the Desprenoi, About page. And it's already like it translated all the text. This is what I've translated, but like the roles, for example, they're all translated in Romanian. These buttons, everything. See what our clients say, everything has been translating, all the text. If I go to the English version, you see it's the English version. So now, in order to have your full website translated, all you have to do is simply navigate it. So if I go to Servicii, which is services, you will see everything is translated. Pretty cool, right? It's gonna save you a ton of time. Now, what else do you have to do now? Well, automatic translation, it is getting better and better, but it's not by any means perfect. So for example, if you notice here, it translated the contact page, which I decided to not translate because contact was good enough. It translated into making connection. That's a one-to-one translation from Romania, which is not good. I don't like it. So I'm just going to go ahead and change it to something that's more in line with our language, which sounds more accurate. Okay, so moving forward, you see that everything has been translated and another important aspect is when does this happen or how does this happen? So this happens the first time you access a certain page. You see the contact page is already translated as well. It was translated right now when I clicked contact for the first time and I loaded the Romanian version of Contact Us page. If I go to the backend now, to the automatic translation and reload the page, I should see like a number of characters. You see it already updated, showing me the numbers of characters that have been automatically translated using TranslatePress. Now, a concern that a lot of users ask us, so that means that every time I load the page, it will get translated using automatic translation, and I know my costs will go really high and so on. No, we minimize everything. So each page, each content is translated automatically just once. After that, we store it in the database and we serve it from there. What does this mean? This means that you only pay once for translating all the content, and it doesn't matter how many times that page is accessed, you will only have to support the cost for translating it the first time. After that, now the second advantage is that is page load time. If you constantly hit automatic translation API and that can result, like when a page loads, that can result in increased page loads, which is not something we want at all. So by saving all these translations and using them, you will have more speed and you will save tons of money and time by, I don't know, going with automatic translation and then just coming and changing things like this. You know, things that sound off. So there you have it. We have all our website fully translated into Romanian. We have each page translated, things like buttons, things like forms, placeholders, and so on. Everything has been translated. You can even go further. For example, you have pages with images and you wanna with a text, for example, you can easily have the option to replace it in Romanian with a different image. So that this is like pretty it happens quite often that you have an image with text and you need to show a different image with a different text in Romanian. So you can do this. Just you have here an add media, so you can easily replace it with a different one, then click save translation and you're done. But what I feel we missed was, okay, we have the standard language switcher here that basically floats and follows us on every page. But let's say we want to add another one to the menu. What options do we have? For that, we're gonna go back to the TranslatePress settings and talk about the language switcher. So you have also a menu item you can add, and you can choose like the type of things you want to display. Let's say flags with short language names. And you also have a shortcode which you can use in, I don't know, any widget or a place you define with Brizy, for example. Let's save this and then go to appearance menus. You will notice here the language switcher. So I'm going to add the current language, which will be displayed next to the menu, and then as subpages, these two. Save menu, and let's have a look of how this is displayed. Okay, now so let's have a look at the website. Let's reload everything. Oh, and you still see this is the language switcher. Doesn't look really well aligned, so let's fix that. I'm gonna edit it with Brizy, and I think it just needs more space. So let's drag it a little bit. This is basically the language switcher. We have like in a spam data no translation, so that you don't translate if you have language names and so on. And the links, let's update this. And now go and reload the page to see if it looks better. Perfect. So now we have a language switcher in the menu. You can also use the shortcode, for example, to put it also in the menu in Brizy, like create a user shortcode element and so on. Yes, right now here you also have a shortcode element somewhere. There you have it. You can also drag it here and place the language switcher shortcode, and we'll do pretty much the same thing. So that's pretty much it. I won't get into any other details because, as you've seen, the website is fully translated, and right now you can browse it in 2 languages. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer each one of them or enter into specifics of what I did here. Great, thank you for watching.
Okay, let's just recap a bit. We've discussed. I've told you that I really like the link translation and media file link translation. I think that's really cool that that you can change the images based on language.
Yeah, and it's even more than that. We extended that for images, for PDFs, for, I don't know, we're going to go replacing videos. Let's say you have on your homepage a video in English, you want to have on your Romanian homepage a video in Romanian, like about your company and so on.
Yeah.
So we wanted to integrate this in the front end visual translation interface. So everything should be done in the front end in just one place, not to have like 3 places where you change or translate things. Because at the beginning, you know, when we launched the plugin, this wasn't possible. So you had to use shortcodes or stuff like that to display certain elements. But now, yeah, it's highly integrated in the translation.
Yeah, so you'll be able to have a fully fledged multilingual website with all the content.
And you know, it's not just images. You can also translate things like pop-ups. You can translate forms, sliders, for example. You can translate sliders and the text in a slider of as long as it's you know, displayed as HTML text or something like that, you can translate it.
Guys, if you want to know more about the comparison between free and pro TranslatePress, you just go to translatepress.com and you'll find everything there. We've touched on the Google Auto Translate. I'm not sure if you got that, but we can just recap it a bit fast. It will be, to my understanding, everything is in free, right? You can use the Google automatically to automatically translate your website. It's free, and Adrian and his colleagues optimized this to the bone. So basically, the API will connect to Google and translate the strings all in once. And there are some small costs involved because this is on the Google side. They charge you for translating those strings. So basically, but you, Adrian, you told me that you are working on some.
Yeah, we're working on integrating like the whole automatic translation feature directly in the plugin. We will even try to see if we can offer that automatic translation free of cost, even in the free version. And in terms like George, for example, is asking what's the additional cost for the DeepL API. Besides the translation costs, which you also pay to Google, there's I think 4.99 API cost, like 4.99 euros per month API cost for DeepL. Well, of course, you can use that like in the beginning and then you know, translate it yourself. Just do a full translation in the beginning, so not pay for that cost.
I'm thinking this recurring monthly for auto translation works when you have, I don't know, websites with a lot of content.
And there are a lot of websites. You have blogs. You have a lot of websites that publish regular content, which want to rank in multiple languages and so on. And this is super useful, especially if you have an editor which can adjust and change. You can have an editor for each language, and they can polish each article before it goes out, like the translated version. I see that kind of websites receiving a lot of traffic. I also see a question like, will there be a lifetime deal? We won't be doing any lifetime deals, unfortunately. This is like an unsustainable business model for us. So we're gonna do like the yearly plans. You can still use the free version. We put a lot of effort in it. So if you don't afford the pro version, that's fine. You can still use the free version.
What happens to your website if you have a pro version and next year you decide that you will not renew your license? What happens with their website or their?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same as with most plugins. So you can still continue to use the plugin and the add-ons, the premium add-ons. They won't like stop working for you, but you just like stop receiving updates and things like WordPress compatibility or other plugins or new features or new add-ons won't be receiving.
So guys, you will not wake up one morning and your French, Spanish, and website will be gone.
Really so this is really important because there are a lot of translation services out there that do pretty much just this. They translate your website and they host the translation on their own servers, meaning the moment you stop paying, you will basically lose all your translated content. We don't do that. We won't. We'll never do that. All your translated content is saved inside your own database, your website database, so not on our servers.
Yeah, so basically, you own that. You have it on your website. It's there, right? They don't need to connect to you in some way to get.
Yeah. That's true. Sorry, I was reading something I didn't follow. Is it possible to translate strings which are not visible from the front end? Messages automatically sent by contact form 7 after submitting. You can translate, for example, with TranslatePress, you can translate pretty much all the getText strings, but they need to be, so all strings that are added by themes or plugins, but are also visible in the front end. Now, what we have in the works, and this is sort of a first time I'm telling this, is a string translation interface, which basically allows you to translate everything, including like the things from the backend and also things like taxonomies and pretty much everything. It's like a local translate for guys that used it to translate their theme files or plugin files. It's like a local translate alternative, but it will be also in the front end of the website. You will have an interface with all these strings. I'm really excited to see this going out. So you will be able to translate pretty much everything, like, I don't know, WooCommerce emails, for example, or things like that, without having to deal with template files or, you know.
Nice. This is really cool. Yeah.
I'm not sure about
future, will you make in the future? Will you make a version for non-press sites? Yeah, maybe you'll make a version for Brizy Cloud. So.
Yeah. That's, you know, it's easy to say, yeah, sure, we'll do that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, we don't need. You know what? Don't promise anything you can't. You know.
Yeah, if I don't keep my promise, just write to Dimi.
Yeah. You write to me, guys, and I'll. Yeah, Marcus
don't
says
have any plans like to. TranslatePress is a WordPress plugin for now. I think we'll take it step by step. We don't have, like, this year. We don't have any plans to go like support different platforms.
That's a great segue, because I was meaning to ask you. Before we go to we approach the end of this webinar, and before we go, tell me what's in the works this year. You touch on some things in.
Yes. So there are many things in the works. There are some important features. One of them is like this string translation I told you about, which is. You can translate a lot of things. You would be able to translate a lot of things, including like WooCommerce things, because TranslatePress is also fully compatible with WooCommerce. WooCommerce is huge, and a lot of people use TranslatePress to build a multilingual e-commerce store. Yeah. This is one thing. The other thing would be the automatic translation built in. Directly inside the plugin without going through a service. So you will have like just click a button and everything is translated. You won't have to generate an API key and so on, handle the costs with Google. You could limit and everything directly from TranslatePress.
Yeah, so it will be everything integrated inside the
that's what we're looking towards. What else? We're going to do a redesign. I know our website hasn't been a priority, so it doesn't look like as neat as Brizy, for example.
No, forget about it. It looks perfectly fine. Don't.
But we're gonna do. We already did a redesign, which we're implementing right now. So we have also a redesign. And in terms of features, there are some things that. For example, the ability to import and export translation from other plugins. This is really tricky. We're gonna see exactly how, because TranslatePress does things completely different. We translate strings from the front end. We don't create, for example, duplicates on the page of the pages in the back end to create a page for English, another one for French, and so on, and link them. Everything is done directly in the front end, so we shall see exactly how this goes. It's a lot of thinking and engineering behind figuring out the best solution. But I'm sure you know this.
Yeah, it's odd how some things can look and appear on the surface. You click 3 buttons, you click this, you translate that. It's easy breezy, right?
Yeah.
But in the back end, it's years of working and figuring out how to do it, and encountering different kinds of walls that need to be broken and things like that. I perfectly understand it.
Exactly.
We are encountering this day in and day out here at Brizy, so I can relate.
And you're doing an amazing job, by the way. But you still get a ton of requests, right? Like feature requests, like.
No, we have on our board right now. We have there are thousands of things that we have on our list and priorities. It's crazy, right? Yeah. So. And I've always, I'm not sure if you guys experience the same thing, but if you have a lot of fans or a lot of lists, they all have different priorities, right? So basically, everything on our list is number one on some list somewhere out there.
Yeah,
so basically, it's.
So SEO, how it works in terms of SEO. So it does everything it should do to help you rank for your multilingual content. So first of all, the ahref lang tags, we add them to all the pages, so we add them to each page when we load it to let Google know basically what language that certain page is in. We also handle the redirects, like for example, if you go from click the contact us link, as I showed you in the video, it will take you to the correct contact us in Romanian and so on.
So basically, SEO is there, right? Yes, TranslatePress sets the language of the page. So basically, when Google knows that a page is in Romanian, a page is in French or English, or so basically you rank for certain keywords on searches. But to my understanding, if you are deep into SEO and want to basically fine tune and compete on certain competitive keywords, the pro version will help you a bit more, right?
Yes, will help you. Yeah, quite a lot. So URL slugs, you can also translate them. I'm seeing this. Yeah, Nikolai, so I think we already answered that. The manual translation, when you update the original content. Right now, depending on how much you update, it will disappear. So you will need to update the translation as well. You have the translation memory feature, which you can use. We're thinking of improving this. So we're actually debating right now, like today and the last week was about that. How can we improve this? Maybe we won't remove the translation and let you decide and still show the translation even if it's outdated and so on.
Yeah, there are things like this that need to be we are encountering this every time when we're discussing new features, because you have to look at something from all sorts of different angles, and
yeah, if you look at it as an engineer, you say that's not the correct translation, the string changed,
yeah.
You need to remove it. If you look at it from a usability point of view, and the user will...
Yeah, you can't have a gap there with no...
Yeah,
right?
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. Great, man. I really love what you guys are doing. I think we've covered a lot. We'll have... you can go to TranslatePress.com to find out everything.
A demo site which you can... I'm going to put the link here, which you can play with and see exactly how it all works. And someone asked about some...
yeah, so basically, you guys install a WordPress demo site where they can test it in real life, right? Right now.
Yeah, exactly, and they have like the add-ons and so on. You can play with the.
You don't need an account or
No. You just need to answer a math question so that we know you're not.
It's not. It's not.
It can be hard sometimes.
Okay.
But I'm sure. The people here will make it cool.
Yeah, nice, great things. So let's move on. You can email us and ask us about Brizy, about TranslatePress. You have our contacts. You can go to brizy.io every time, and you'll reach us there, or email me on dimi@dimi.io. You can reach Adrian on. Tell us, Adrian, how can we reach you?
You can ping me on Twitter. I'm at ADISPAIAC, or simply at TranslatePress. There's also a contact form on TranslatePress.com. You can write us, and we usually reply pretty quick. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer all of them.
But before we go, the glitch, or the how do you call it? I think we were like 10-15 minutes. We were That was not the surprise, right? That was definitely not the surprise. All the lights here are green. I hope what we've recorded is already there. So I will cut it down and put it in the replay. But we've recapped it, and I think we've managed to save it, right? But before we go, this is the actual surprise we've prepared for you. There are 2 discounts that you guys will receive. Basically, everyone that participated here will receive. One is for Translate Premium plans. It's a 15% discount. And one is for Brizy Pro. So basically, we'll send you an email shortly. I'm not sure if tonight, but definitely tomorrow you'll receive an email from us with these discount codes. And an important thing is that the codes will expire in 10 days, so they have an expiration date on them. If you already own Translate Premium plan, or any of the Translate Premium plans or Brizy Pro, the vouchers are interchangeable. So basically, you can share it with a friend or with someone that you think might use them. That's basically it. We thank you a bunch for your support and for being here tonight. Please excuse my me not knowing all the ropes here in live webinar software. You're used to GP, and he'll be here. Actually, Adrian, let me tell you about GP. I've told him we're bringing on Adrian from TranslatePress, and he was TranslatePress. Oh my God, I'm using it all the time. I'm not using anything else. It's stupid easy, right? Yeah. So
he's too kind.
Yeah. Guys, thanks, Adrian. Add something on any last words, maybe for our community.
Yeah. So thank you, everyone. I hope I know you find this useful. And what can I say? Keep on creating, building things with Brizy. if you have like a multilingual website, add TranslatePress and reach more people.
Excellent. Thanks a bunch, guys. Have a great night.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.